nobody was videoing back then, very few. And you know, it was exciting just to take the camera in the woods. It was exciting just to get a doe, you know, come up there and get it on video. As much as I love the turkey hunt, my favorite piece of footage ever had to be the water buck. And if I remember right, it was the first time I ever took one on video, and it's the first real bow buck that Cuz had filmed. And you know, we'd struggle with that, and we got so much turkey footage, but we bow hunted and bow hunted and bow hunted. Well, of course, we got a few does here and there, but we're never taking a nice buck, or it was just so hard. I guess we almost felt like we never do it. We might almost give up on the deer. And it was, you know, we were hunting right here in Mississippi on a friend of ours' place, and it was a good place, but still, we'd been there a couple of days. It'd been kind of warm and rainy. We hadn't seen anything, just like we had probably a year or two of doing this. And I think the last morning we were there, it turned off cold. It was overcast like today, but it had just quit raining. And you know, I know more about it. That's a great morning to go. Back then, you know, it was just we went because we were there, and we just took 2 climbers and waded off in the edge of that swamp. Had no clue about anything. Looking around with flashlights before daylight. I remember climbing a tree about that big around with a climbing stand, probably not over 12. It was crooked too. And you know, Cuz is hauling all that stuff up there, climbing right behind me.
On this morning, it was cold, and the guy dropped us out just kind of in the middle of nowhere. He said, if you walk to your right out through there is a slough. Just said, if you get on the edge of that slough, the deer walk up and down there. So we just went in the dark, flashlights and all, and found 2 trees pretty close together, and we were using climbing stands. And it took a while to get all that stuff up, but we sat there, and you know, it got daylight, and it was so cold that there was a little bit of ice had formed on the side of that slough, and Toxey was looking over there, and he whispered to me, he said, man, what you gonna do if I shoot a deer and he runs in that water? And we hadn't seen a deer in 3 days, and I told him, I said, if you shoot a deer and I film it, if it runs out in that water, I'll go get it. And I'm telling you, it wasn't 10 minutes. Here comes this big old buck.
Take it.
Yes! Yes!
Hey, Cuz, you getting pretty good with that thing. I'm going to get him.
I'm gonna film it.
Let's get down.
Do it, Bubba.
It's great to think about the water buck hunt because it was more than just, you know, Cuz's first video film, my first, you know, it's probably the biggest one I'd shot at that time with a bow. And, but there were so many little special things about it, you know, us doing that together, and then everything that's transpired since then, the way that it turned out, and above all else, the whole fun. We never, as much as we got a little, we never captured the fun of what happened afterwards. That just was icing on the cake. That was such a classic.
Cuz, would you like a little background music?
It's 33 degrees. Ask me, do I care?
Come on, more. Put the boots on.
Temporarily there for a minute, I forgot that I'd said, I'm gonna wait out there and get it, but Toxey didn't let me forget that. So we got down, and I went out there, and I stuck my hand in the water first, and I said, man, I believe I can handle it. So I knew it was gonna be cold. I took my hunting clothes off and stripped down to my long johns, and I stuck my toe in that water, and I'm telling you, it was frightening, to say the least. It was so cold.
All right, Cuz, you got some dry clothes to put back on?
Yeah, I got some at the camp.
Wait a minute, whoa. You got long underwear on?
Yeah, I can
Take your pants on. No, take your pants off. I have done this a many times with my old papa. Chasing down deer and ducks for him.
We can't show all that on video.
No, you can show your underwear. You got to.
No.
Come on. Let's do it. There you go. Nice. That's just sweatpants. That's all you do is you play in the basketball gym in it. Your hat. Safe. No, I'll leave your hat on. You're lucky. I was hoping it would get right about to your waistline.
Massive.
I know.
He filmed all that, and after 15 years, I can go to different places after all this TV, and inevitably everybody that comes up says, man, I saw you grab that deer in your underwear. It was for some reason, that was a big deal to everybody. To me, it was a big deal, but it was, it's always gonna be known as the water buck. And hey, again, I'm glad we had our little camcorder there to grab all that.
7?
7.
That's the biggest 7-point I ever killed.
He's told, bub. All right, now it's yours.
Good. What do you think?
I think I do it every day of the week.
I love it.